How do you do with people who are disengaged, obstinate, and perhaps just being narcissistic? Hey there, if we haven't met yet, I'm Vanessa. I work with leaders in business to bring out the best in themselves and others through shifting their mindset and shifting their behavior. Who here has worked for a team member or with a team member who's been really difficult to manage? I reckon there's quite a few of us in that boat. Perhaps we've inherited them if we haven't been able to select and identify our own team. And we're now in a situation where we need to tackle this challenge in behavior. So I guess the first key thing that we need to remember is, what is the outcome that we're here to achieve? Like, what's our purpose? So that we can make sure that when we have the discussion, we're both in agreement around what we're here to achieve as an outcome. Ideally, it's about bringing the best out in this person so that we can help the business to succeed. So within that, we've got to look at, are they completing the tasks of their role? So you know how you can have somebody who churns through the motion, they're kind of productive, but they're not overly productive. And I guess the other component of that, because that identifies if they've got a gap in their productivity and their skill set to be able to do the work. But probably what I find the most is where the gap is in the cultural alignment, where it's their attitude, it's their alignment to the values of the business. It's all of the things that sort of set us up to undermine the culture that we want to achieve. And that's where we really need to tackle this as leaders. So what happens is people go through their lives with their defensive behavior, and when they bring it into the workplace, you could see this as anger or tears or some sort of form of dismissive defensive behavior when you have a conversation with someone. And what happens is people then avoid it because they go, oh, that really felt bad and I don't want to go back there. And so that's the pattern they've run, knowingly or unknowingly, and it's always worked. So it's up to us to be the leader that perseveres through this. And I think the key here is to be able to be considering, what does a graceful arrival at that outcome or that purpose look like to you? So when we're thinking of graceful arrival, what we tend to do is take our ego out of the mix because we're there to be able to help set them up to succeed. So when we arrive gracefully, we're looking for ways to support them to get the outcome that we need to achieve. And I think this mindset of compassion and of thinking that hurt people is definitely a way to enter those discussions. So genuinely wanting to see them succeed. And I think the other key to getting this right is to be okay with getting it wrong. So what do I mean by that? I mean, we're going to scuff our knees. People are human, complicated beings, and I think the fear is because we don't know how the other person's going to respond. So maybe we're going to stumble on our words. Maybe we're not going to quite get it right the first time. But if we're waiting for it to be perfect, we're never going to do it. And I remember a client saying to me once, I feel like I'm being held hostage in my own business, and we don't want to be that. So we've got to have those challenging conversations. Have the conversations that matter, bring compassion to it, and look for, how can I arrive gracefully at the end result? So look, I trust that's been of value. Thank you so much for tuning in to Empowered Leadership, and I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on this one, so please comment below. Take care, have a great week. See ya.